All right, everybody, happy Monday, but more importantly, happy belated Father's Day to all the dads out there. I had a great Father's Day yesterday with my family. Caroline and Hunter surprised me with some gifts and a big breakfast. It was a lot of fun. I made a little video about it on our family channel, The Alec Family. You should see a link to that video right at the top of your screen, right up here. So to all you dads out there, happy Father's Day. Whether you are a relatively new dad like I am, or whether you've been a dad for 40, 50, 60 years or more. Happy Father's Day to you. All right, so let's talk about stimulus. I didn't make a stimulus update over the weekend because, frankly, there wasn't a whole lot of stimulus news to talk about. The big stimulus news recently has been that Donald Trump, in fact, supports another round of stimulus checks. I made a video last week showing you the clip of exactly what he said. If you missed that video, link up there right above my head at the top of your screen. All right, but since then there hasn't been any major stimulus news, but there is some this and that I do want to get to in this video. So first thing, White House economic advisor Kevin Hassett is reportedly leaving the Trump administration this summer. So Kevin Hassett, we talk about him from time to time here on the channel. He's the guy who usually goes on the news and says whether or not he thinks we need another stimulus package, and he's tended to flip-flop a couple times. There was one instance last month where, you know, he said, I don't think we really need a phase 4, another stimulus package. But then like a few days later, he's like, oh yeah, we need another stimulus package. So, but nevertheless, he does have Trump's ear. At least he will until at some point in the summer. And he's an interesting guy to talk about, but he will be leaving the administration. Okay. Hassett was part of the Trump administration a while ago. Then he left, then he came back just to, in response to the coronavirus crisis. So Kevin Hassett is on his way out. So that's somewhat interesting and somewhat related to stimulus. Another big piece of stimulus news, and this doesn't directly affect the stimulus checks, but Congress has been pressuring the Treasury Department and the Small Business Administration for some time to be more transparent about who received or whom received the SBA PPP money. Now, we've talked about PPP here on the channel, but just for some context, PPP is the Paycheck Protection Program. Okay, I go into more detail on this in other videos, but at a high level, what this is basically free money from the government to small businesses. Okay, it is a loan program, but if you use those loan proceeds to pay people their salaries and their wages, the loan will be forgiven. AKA, this is free money from the government for small businesses to pay their people and keep them employed during this scary time. Okay, so as I've told you before on the channel, this PPP money, it's earmarked for small businesses, okay? Typically businesses with less than 500 employees. So big businesses don't have any right to this money, right? We don't want the McDonald's and these huge companies, they don't need a loan program this good, aka a forgivable loan program where it can basically be free money if you use the money for the right purposes. However, some large companies, Ruth's Chris, Shake Shack, we've talked about a few of them before here on the channel, somehow got approved for PPP loans and got PPP money. Some of those companies have given the money back because they were essentially caught, right? But Congress's point is, and especially several Democrats in Congress, their point is, okay, Ruth's Chris, Shake Shack, those other companies that gave the money back publicly, those are the companies we know about, okay? How many other companies are there out there, big companies, who really this PPP program isn't intended for? How many other big companies have gotten a piece of the pie? How many other big companies have been somehow approved for PPP loans? SBA, Treasury Department, y'all need to disclose the recipients of these loans. You need to be fully transparent here because apparently this PPP program has been abused by large companies who this program is not intended for, okay? So originally, Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin seemed reluctant to open up transparency with respect to PPP loan recipients. However, SBA and the Department of the Treasury have now agreed to disclose the names of businesses that receive PPP loans of $150,000 or more. Okay, so if your business got a PPP loan of $150,000 or more, here's what the SBA is going to disclose about your business. Let's say your business is called ABC Widgets Inc. Okay, so the SBA is going to disclose your name, right? I imagine you're going to have a big list or a spreadsheet or something, and in one row it's going to say ABC Widgets Inc. It's going to put your business address as used on your application, your NAICS code or your industry code, what industry you're in, your zip code, which I guess is in your address, business type, demographic data, number of jobs you support, and your loan amount range. Okay, so here's the loan amount ranges. I'm going to tell you what they are, and then I will explain them. First loan amount range is $150,000 to $350,000. Next loan amount range is $350,000 to $1 million. Next loan amount range is $1 million to $2 million, then $2 million to $5 million, then $5 million to $10 million. Okay, so what does that mean? That means that if ABC Widgets Inc. got a $200,000 PPP loan, the SBA is not going to put, oh, ABC Widgets Inc. got a $200,000 PPP loan. All they're going to put is ABC Widgets Inc. Got a PPP loan between $150,000 and $350,000. It's just going to disclose the range, right? Similarly, if another company got a PPP loan of $8 million, SBA is not going to specifically say, oh, that company got a PPP loan for $8 million. They're going to say they got a PPP loan between $5 million and $10 million. Okay. According to the Department of the Treasury, loans of $150,000 or more account for nearly 75% of the loan dollars approved. For loans below $150,000, if your business got a PPP loan below $150,000, as mine did, your specific business name will not be released. Okay, just the totals will be released of all loans under $150,000, aggregated by zip code, by industry, by business type, and by various demographic categories. Okay, I am supportive of this. I truly believe that the more transparency when it comes to government funds like this, the better, especially when we've seen firsthand evidence that this program has been subject to abuse. Okay, a little fun news for us about stimulus. An 86-year-old Pawtucket, Rhode Island woman spent her stimulus checks on making a zoo in her front lawn consisting of dozens of giant stuffed animals. She said she wanted to brighten up her neighborhood during this coronavirus pandemic. She said, I went through World War II, which was tough, but it's nothing like what's happening now. Everything is so sad. Wow, that's a strong statement. Here's someone who went through World War II, albeit she was around 10 years old, right, during World War II. But nevertheless, she said World War II is nothing like what's happening now. What she means is, look, during World War II, the country was kind of coming together, right, to defeat a common enemy, a common foe. There was community, camaraderie. But now, where's the community? Where's the camaraderie? We don't have it. We're shuttered away in our homes, okay? And this is very difficult for me, and I have a wife and a son here that I could spend time with whenever I want, and they can spend time with me whenever they want. But I imagine it must be very lonely, especially for many elderly people who may not, who may be living alone and feel very alone right now. Speaking of this coronavirus crisis, okay, the WHO reported 183,000 new cases of coronavirus yesterday. This is the largest increase in a single day since the beginning of the pandemic. These increases are driven largely by two countries, the United States and Brazil. 2 days ago, Donald Trump held his rally, okay? And there's been a lot of talk about what he said there, right? He said testing was a double-edged sword. He said, he wants his administration to slow the testing down because when you do testing that much, you're going to find more cases, okay? Peter Navarro, right, who dropped the news that Trump wants $2 trillion in the next stimulus, said that Trump was being tongue-in-cheek when he made that comment. Okay, I don't want to get into that too much because this really isn't a political channel, but you can look into to what Trump said at his Tulsa rally if you're interested in that. Okay, so we're having really the most amount of cases in a single day worldwide, and here in the United States, since Friday, that means over the weekend, 12 states have recorded record highs in new coronavirus cases. Using data from the COVID Tracking Project, ABC News found that Florida, Texas, Arizona, Utah, South Carolina, Nevada, Georgia, Missouri, Montana, California, Tennessee, and Oklahoma all showed rising cases as results came in over the weekend. So we are still very much in a very scary time. I know that many places around the country are still reopening, but we can't lose sight of the fact that this is still a very scary thing, okay? And we are nowhere near out of the woods yet. I hope and I pray every day that my community, my state, our country, and the world gets out of this coronavirus pandemic quickly, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon, okay? And I do hope that Congress takes that into account when thinking about the next stimulus bill, particularly the Senate and particularly Mitch McConnell, okay? Now, with respect to another stimulus bill, you may have seen a lot of clickbait on YouTube recently, okay, about, $2,000 stimulus check approved or $4,000 stimulus check approved, okay? So what's going on right now? Because the stimulus news is pretty light right now, right? The big stick in the mud with respect to another stimulus package is Senate Republicans, all right, and they're not going to pick up the bill or another COVID relief bill until next month. All right, so a lot of YouTubers, right? Not everybody. There's some good ones out there, but a lot of them are getting desperate for content, and so what they're doing is they're putting headlines like, "Oh, $2,000 a month stimulus approved," in their headline. But when you get to their content, what they're referring to is a stimulus check for a particular city or county. Okay, in this case, yes, there are $2,000 stimulus checks for residents of Skagway, Alaska. Okay, population like 1,000, all right? I don't make a big deal of that because I imagine that very few of you are from Skagway, Alaska, okay? So Skagway is apparently giving a $1,000 per month stimulus check for 6 months for each member of a household, including children, all right? We have covered state and local stimulus payments before. I think I was really the first YouTube channel to talk about the possibility of more stimulus checks coming from state and local government. If you want to see that video, it's right up here. I think my hair was a bit longer back then. So just be aware of that, that's what's going on if you see these really amazing looking stimulus headlines. Another one is, I saw another one over the weekend, like $300 stimulus for SSI and SSDI and Social Security. Well, okay, yeah, if you live in the Jacksonville, Florida area, okay, and we've already talked about the Jacksonville stimulus before here on the channel. Let's talk a little about real estate recently. So sales of existing homes in May fell 9.7% compared with April. Okay, sales are down 26.6% annually. That is the largest annual decline since 1982, and back in 1982, interest rates were about 18%. It is also the slowest sales pace since October 2010. But of course, this chief economist Lawrence Yoon for Realtors.com said, "I'm very confident this is a low point. Buyers are coming back and listings are coming back." But we will see, right? Jobs report gave very positive news. The retail, well, not very positive, but less negative than people anticipated. The retail sales numbers, came back better than anticipated, but apparently home sales, not so positive, right? All right, everybody, that is my stimulus update for today. Like I said at the beginning, this morning on our family channel, I released a Father's Day video showing you how I spent my Father's Day morning yesterday. You can see that video right up here. If you have some time, watch this video and let me know in the comments how you think Caroline's Father's Day gift to me looks on me. She got me a gift that I can wear and I wear it on camera. I'd like to know what you think about how it looks. Check out the video. Let me know in the comment what you think of that first gift that Caroline gave me. Thank you so much, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.